said something before I started the narration. When a similar Ifebora and Wike thing began, broke, and then House of Assembly was burnt and all of that, the president invited them, mediated over the matter. You would think that the FCT minister would let it go out at that point. But no, he kept on and on and on and on, but we never really heard anything negative or otherwise, being said against the FCT minister. But he literally said he's my godfather, he's my father and all of that, but the FCT minister seemed not to be the case. Now Tinubu again have intervened, and this is after Gandhi set up a committee to look into the Ondo state issues, and unfortunately that seemed not to be the case, because over the weekend it didn't work, so the president now intervened again. But after his intervention, we are seeing the APC say we're going to implement everything the president has, because he said that Akeredolu, despite being absent for over the number of days that he's legally meant to be absent as a governor, the president said he should remain the governor of Ondo State, and the deputy should remain, and the House of Assembly should not impeach him. Okay, that's all right. But when they came back, APC and the state secretary said, "Oh, we the chief speaker and the state secretary, secretary to federal government said we're going to obey all of that." But the PDP came out and said, "Listen, this is not going to work. So long as Akeredolu is not going to show himself, this is not going to work." But guess what? A group in the APC now is saying, "We want Aiyedatiwa to take over from Akeredolu." I'd like to have your reaction to this.
Vivien, the truth about it is, sometimes I am caught in the political spider webs of this nation, Nigeria. I don't know, when you go to the street and you hear people use some derogatory words at our politicians and the democracy, you weep. Democracy, as is known, has been changed to democracy because of the actions and inactions of our politicians. The law, they say, is made for man, not man for the law. I don't know when. See, even as human as we are, the way we relate with our fellow humans, there are certain steps you take. Your conscience tells you you have gone overboard. I don't know when the conscience of our politicians will really speak to them. The same man who shout and will speak of injustice, give him the slightest opportunity, is the father of injustice. Is a perpetrator of injustice. I really can't tell. Now, because of the way we practice our democracy in this current 21st century, when many countries who look up to us are practicing it the way it should be, have relegated the deputy governors because they feel in the constitution they have no place. They've seen them as spare tires. What sort of names have they not, the executive governors, not called to them? Those who have found it difficult not to call have acted it out. For Christ's sake, there are provisions in the constitution. I don't know why we flout. That's why it is. See, I don't know how to really say this, because when you see a father misbehaving before his son, what do you expect? See, let me tell you, the degradation in the home setting. I was telling somebody somewhere in a panel. Every youth who emanates from the home goes to the school, becomes a product of the institutions, and when they come out, it is what they learn. They say, let the school go through you and you also go through the school. We have formal and informal education. Parents today just keep to the formal education. They don't go after the informal education of their children to know how balanced they will be when they face situations in the society. Otherwise, a well-trained child should know how to go about issues when it bothers you and when it bothers the second person. How much more when the law is there to guide you both? The law is there. The funny thing of all this whole thing is, the governor who is sick, it is not of his own making. We understand. But that doesn't stop the state from going forward. He is a senior advocate. Akeredolu is a senior advocate. I guess the last time I was here, we talked about this issue. I was rather not in support of what is happening in Ondo State, but the young man who was complaining then seems to be looking for his daily bread. That's what I saw there. Now, having looked at the whole thing, I am looking at the president, who is a father, calling on stakeholders to resolve issues as glaring as this, and you tell the people who came looking up to you that they should maintain status quo, going back, and the deputy should remain deputy and the governor remains governor. Is that a resolution? That is not a resolution. The governance of Ondo State is on standby, standstill. We've heard complaints from all walks of life currently in Ondo State. I am expecting, let the state of the current governor be made known to the people who elected him. This just reminds me of the shenanigan that befell the late, may so rest in peace, Umar Yar'Adua and the former president Muhammadu Buhari. The state of his health was hidden from those who, I don't know. See, the moment you choose to come into a public office, you don't own your life. It's as simple as that. I am not just happy with the position. The president did not see. Let me tell you, I remember vividly. Sorry to use this. A professional, a woman whose profession is to circumcise little children. Upon coming in, he knew that if he should mix her job of that circumcision that moment with a little feelings, the parents of the child wouldn't allow her to do her job effectively, and if there's a complication, she'll be held responsible. She came in a hostile way. To jettison the emotion of the parents to allow her to do her job, and upon finishing the job, achieving what she came for, she started smiling. That's a woman that knows her job. I was expecting the president knew what is happening in Ondo State. He knew the agitation from both factions. This is an internal and external issue. The governor is no longer just a member of the APC. He's a governor of all walks of life in Ondo State. Yeah. Who cares to know? There are some of the electorates in Ondo State who are not members of his party but voted for him. Now, if I stand to be corrected, this is his second deputy. In his first tenure, he ran with a different person. In his second tenure, why is he having issues with them?